So we're set to go. Number of Hawks with a little bit extra hair down behind, so we'll have a look at that through the afternoon as well. But it's the Bulldogs and the Hawks in action from Ballarat Stadium, and Bontempelli, would you know, it gets the first disposal out of the middle.
3 goals, so you can see the Hawks obviously entering their forward 50 here, but defensively they're playing assertive, the Hawks, so they're on the front foot trying to push the Bulldogs back a little bit, or kicking with it this quarter.
Next to go, Norton got the intercept, and now Biggs is able to work his way along the wing. Low ball up into the 50. Diving effort from Dunkley. Hardwick. Oh, he just didn't get the fist onto it.
That Norton intercept would be putting a smile on the face of the recruiting team from the Western Bulldogs. 50-metre penalty here, so Josh Dunkley shouldn't miss this.
Well, none of them are there anymore. Gary, everyone that recruited him is left.
That's excellent.
So here's Josh Dunkley.
Thank you, Liam.
Slight different look, and he's number 5, and he's put it through for the Bulldogs' first goal, and the first goal of the afternoon. Down there, another man in the new look in Mitch Honeychurch. Schoenmaker stripped of it. Daniel works it back. Cordy. Oh, strong stuff from McLean. Beats it at its highest point, at least for him. Takes it out wide. O'Meara, standing start, just eased it deep into the square. Well, Gunston had the chance, but Crozier, good commitment.
It was great coverage by Crozier, because Cordy was caught out of position by Gunston, and if he didn't leave and come over in effect, then that would have been an easy goal.
Tell us a little bit about what's over the summer, I suppose the big improvement areas for the Hawks.
I guess like every team, I think footy's going in the direction of the turnovers and things like that. So I think most of the pre-season, most teams are trying to work on how to limit turnovers and how to defend them and stuff. Yeah, I think last year we made a few changes during the year, and it worked for us. So
thanks, Dicko. And as he said, let's hope he has a much better season in terms of being out there for the Hawks. Important part of their defence as Honeychurch strikes it well. And a couple of nice goals. A great goal from Roughhead while we're listening to TAC under-18 marks. It's been replayed a few times, that. Here's the Dogs. Working by hand right through the middle with Suckling and Daniel involved on multiple occasions. Deep kick. Oh, O'Brien through the fingers and Dalhouse. And now Dunkley there to make the most of it. As we get to Dicko.
As we see the Bulldogs kick another goal, just from the Hawthorn defence.
Very accurate goal kicker. Oh, Bailey Williams almost fell over there.
Play on.
And John calling for it down in the pocket. It's going his way. He got just shunted a bit, and at the back, Bailey Dale.
Smart mark from Bailey Dale.
Square, everyone misread it. Dale over the back, but it's an interesting way to go forward.
Had a knack of kicking goals last year, Bailey Dale, and he's put this one through. Kicked 17 goals in 16 games.
Perhaps that going to have to work hard to get into the side.
Margin 8. Oh, it's a genuine shove there by Trengove. Umpire lets it pass. McRae continues to accumulate. Now, which way is this whistle going? It's a
McRae, I reckon.
Free kick, yep, to the Bulldogs. So McRae kicked just 2 goals last year. That's the one thing he doesn't do a lot of. Hitting the scoreboard. He gets plenty of the footy, and he steers this one through.
Get the pressure on, get the turnover, and get a repeat inside 50. That had more 2016 Bulldogs about it.
Play on.
McLean was ducking, but didn't get a whistle. Instead, he put it out, and there you go. And McRae showing that he can kick goals, not just one, but a second. And all of a sudden, the Bulldogs are back in front, and it is a Fenningham goal fest here.
It is, but what I really like, and I'm not sure this is what's going to be the case forward, is that they've put class into that forward line and been
Sicily, Picken, McLean, and Johannesson's got the jump on Whitecross, and he'll go on. He can pop it over the top, and Caleb Daniel puts it through and finishes the job. Just.
But once again, it was clean hands from a Bulldogs player that were...
Vittoria gets away, takes the mark, gives them a path to plot forward. Low and wide. And that's a lovely leap and mark.
Tell you what, even if you clone 2 of them, you'd be an All-Australian centre forward.
There's depth on the kick too. Oh,
I've been sitting here for 5 minutes waiting for that contest. They've been inside 50, Marcus Bontempelli and Sean Burgoyne just waiting for a contest, and look at that. Outstanding grab by Bont.
And the handball from Hawthorn. Sicily just blasted out of there with a high torpedo, and that's a gutsy mark.
I like this boy.
Yeah.
Gotta like this boy, Jono. Aaron Norton.
Yep.
Really play Marcus Bontempelli either in the middle of the ground as an on-baller or as a forward. Where would you play?
Time is up. Go short. Burton, here he is.
So they got them locked in here, the Dogs. They should not. This shouldn't. Well, they shouldn't and don't. That's a great zone.
Johannesson, as a result of that, Eastonwood gets out the back and puts one through for the Dogs to level up this game. Tringo gets it down. The Bont having a run in the middle here for Johannesson on the bike. Out wide, Wood pushing up the ground. Provides the path forward. Dalehouse with a kick to the top of the square. Honeychurch the leaper. Picken. And it's Trengove that puts it through.
Played some good footy in the ruck, so he'll be really useful for the Western Bulldogs. Here's Shacky.
They're getting a run in the ruck. Bontempelli sharp on the exit. Johannesson enjoying some time up around the ball, and he's got terrific depth on the kick, and there's Shacky. Maybe that's the answer. Put him in the ruck, let him run, get forward.
Save him for a half.
Yes.
Yeah. He's the second half specialist, Gaz. That's fantastic.
As soon as he tapped it out, he took off. And he's already at the edge of screen here. He sees Johannesson is going to win the ball, and he's away. So he's burned his opposition ruckman. He's left at the right time.
And Ben McAvoy, that's the last two goals have been kicked by the ruckman. Trengove pushed forward on him, and now Shacky. The other question and people watching at the moment who are midfield conscious of
for someone to take a chance on him, to be honest, because he's been such a highly rated and talented youngster. As Honeychurch runs into a roadblock at half forward, McLean turns, shapes the kick, and then Picken takes the mark.
That's Sicily getting a look at a different his sort of opponent for most of the day. Now he's got Picken taking him back to the goal square. He's going to get different looks at the footy all year and different opponents, Sicily.
We saw that, I think it was Jed Lamb, wasn't it, that got him a little bit frazzled at one stage when he did the same thing, as that one shapes back and goes through for a goal. Instead, it's Jarman Impey pouncing and backing his pace through the middle, and why not?
Oh. Took the bounce, he was away. Bontempelli came, which probably made him just take a few extra steps. It looked borderline, though.
I'd always be the view of a bit of latitude.
Yeah,
that's what we need in the game. We need the run and the dash to break up.
Let's throw it to each other, too.
Oh, come on, Gary. Here's Liver. Great kick from Tom Liberatore. That's 5 goals to 1 for the quarter.
Forward as a junior, he was very good. Forward, he was obviously so big that his marking ability was strong through the junior ranks. It's found a little bit more difficult at the Brisbane Lions. Now back in Victoria, so you look for him now to find his way as a player down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah. I think it's Picken. We'll get down to Dicko.
Looks like Pickens knocked himself out. You can see there in that big clash. We'll get a replay of it shortly, but straight away out, so I wouldn't expect him to take any further part. You can just see there, head on hip. So not a great sight for Liam Picken, but he's got the right people around him at the moment.
The rhythm of things, is that sort of that can be a downside?
Well, it can. It's sort of risk and reward, I suppose, in the end. I mean, James, here he goes again. James Sicily has ended up being pretty influential, but he's been their primary, I think, occupation for Easton Wood as Dunkley takes another mark. And goals then become the bonus.
That's right. He's got a couple today. Going to kick his third here, you'd think. McRae's got a couple on the board as well.
And he's put that through. Not the most stylish kick, but compared to his old man, it's absolutely magnificent. Williams. Suckling decides to go by hand this time. Onto the left side of McRae and down to the Bont. And a shove, the umpire said. Advantage. They should be able to work this for a Honeychurch goal. Despite the frustrations coming back the other way from David Mirror. Gives, gets, now what next? Snookered against the line and coming out of the shadows. Luke Bruce copped it from the Bont. Goes short back into those shadows of the stand.
Shadows of the stand meant that we didn't get a real good look at that Spalding attempt, Anthony. I'm sure we'll get another look at it. He's got a fitty.
But that's where Sicily plays on the line sometimes.
Yep.
And his frustrations can boil over, and he can just throw an arm, or he'll get himself 1 or 2 weeks here and there. Can't afford, Hawthorn can't afford for that to happen. Play hard, play tough.
Let's have a look at it.
Doesn't take much. It's just a little clip under the arm, but it doesn't take much to miss that, and then all of a sudden he's getting a week.
And Bailey Dale, the beneficiary, puts it into the donut stand. And that might just about do it for the Dogs.
That he gets through okay and is able to back up and play JLT too.
Takes the free kick, sends it, pops it on their head at full forward. There's a great mark by Crozier. Here's Johannesson, his 17th disposal. And the Bulldogs find themselves now just beyond the wing with Caleb Daniel. Clock counts down. And it's the Dogs 15-10-100 defeating Hawthorn 11-12-78. Just some quick thoughts, boys.
Oh, it's enough for both sides to take some positives away. We've seen a couple of teams walk off from a JLT 1 and not have too much to be happy about. I think both teams showed, well, I'd say the Western Bulldogs take more out of it. Their stars were outstanding. Bontempelli gives us a reminder of just why he will probably win a Brownlow medal at some stage. And a couple of new faces in the team are really important, and probably the most impressive was young Boyd Norton. So really good day for the Dogs, and the Hawks get a bit out of it too, Jono.